morning to you all. I go by the name Mount Cletus from Sacred Heart Senior High School, working on the STEM project 2023. We are actually working on the topic flexible use of electricity. I have my friends here, and this one go by the name MP172. And
our top name is 172.
Okay, we are all informed on when we came out with this solar power bank to solve a problem in the village. So somebody will ask, what inspired you to build this project? So in the villages, actually my village in Awabo, actually located in the northern region of Ghana, Sabuba, you have to walk miles to, the nearby village to charge your phone. So the last time I went there, we were facing this problem. So when immediately they said flexible use of electricity, I said, let me construct a project which will solve this problem. So we came up with this solar power bank. I'll describe the outer parts of the project, and before we go to the inside of the solar power bank. So at the outer part, you can see there are two solars. You can see this one is, you can actually move this one like this. You can also move like this, but this one is stationary. They are all to trap solar, they are all to trap sunlight. But this one is there so that in case the sun shifts in a different direction, this one is able to move in that direction so that it continues trapping the sunlight. You have this LEDs here, which indicates the battery power. So when I on it, you can see all the LEDs are actually on, showing that the battery is full. You then have this switch here, which is the on and off switch for the power supply. So if I turn on this switch, the power begins to circulate and you have this USB port here where you can connect your phones to it. So this is where you actually connect your phone to charge whatever you want to charge. Okay, we'll then go to the internal part of this solar power bank. In this solar power bank, there are 3 boards. We actually use 3 different boards in building this solar power bank. We made 2 ourselves and 1 we actually have to buy it. So I'll talk about the first one, which is the Arduino board. The Arduino board is here to actually instruct this solar to move in the direction of the sun. On the Arduino board, you have IC. The IC is there to store the code or the program that you have written, so that you don't have to continuously be updating the code. So it's just there to store the code. And also, on the Arduino board, you have some transistors on it to step down the power. The Arduino board actually receives 5 volts exactly, nothing less, nothing more. So if you give it something more, the transistors are there to step down the power to 5 volts exactly, so that the board can function very well without any damage to the board. That's for the first board. We'll move on to the second board, which is actually here. On the second board, we have diodes. The diodes are connected to each bulb. So each bulb has a diode, specifically for one bulb. So the diodes are there to help to move the current in one direction. So when the current actually exceeds 1 diode, that means these 2 will on, exceed 3, the third one on 4, and it continues. If it's low, it will just on 1, 2, just like that. So that's for the second board. On the third board, we have a combination of transistors, capacitors, we have diodes and resistors on it. So these USB ports are actually connected to that board. Maybe your phone is a phone that receives 3.7 voltage, but this one actually brings out 6 voltage. So in order not to damage the board of your phone, we decided to use the transistors and diodes so that we will be able to step down the power to the amount of volts your phone is. Also on this board we have diodes. The diodes are actually there to help move the current in one direction, because you can't connect the solar panels or the panels directly to the battery, because if you do that, the battery power will move in the direction of the solar, which will make the solar to heat up. To avoid that, we use the diodes to make the current move in one direction. That means the solar current will move in the direction of the battery, so that the battery can actually charge. Having talked about this, we are going to do the demonstration of this. We'll demonstrate how it works. So you have the solar here. So we are you have the solar panel here, which we are going to demonstrate how it actually moves.
Mr. Rose was asking of you
Test whether this actually works. So we don't have sun here, so we'll use a phone for the testing. So you can actually see that the solar is moving in the direction of the sun. If you send it here, it moves there, and if you send it there, it moves there. So not testing that, we'll go on to test whether it's working. So this is actually the code that we used in programming this Arduino board. This is the code we use for it. We use the Arduino ID to program this one. So we are going to go on to test whether it can actually charge the phone or not. So we are going to test whether it's able to charge this phone. This is an ITEL phone. So we plug it in and see. So you can actually see that it's charging the phone. So we test with a different phone. We have a young phone over here. So we have this happy beep that the phone is actually charging.
do it again so that you hear the sound.
You can see it's actually charging. Okay.
So continue.
So these are the functions of this power bank actually. We thank you for this opportunity that you have given us to be able to solve this particular problem. This thing is not actually it's not expensive, it's very cheap. So villagers can easily buy it. It doesn't cost much. We didn't spend a lot of money building this problem. I hope that in the future, houses will have solar panels which are movable and can trap sunlight so that they can actually power the whole house, and we will not spend much money on electricity as we are doing now. Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for this opportunity that you have given us. We are grateful.